And I want to introduce our final speaker, Priscilla Bala, who's coming up. She is the director of the Mentor Network at the Yale Entrepreneurial Institute and is going to be giving a brief talk about some of the work that she's doing.
Wow. What an incredible lineup of Yaleys here today. So many diverse change makers. Let's just thank again all of the speakers and moderators for sharing so generously of their time and energy. Thank so many vibrant conversations here. I just hope you feel as energized and inspired as I do. And I tell you, my bar for energy and inspiration is pretty high because I have the distinct luck of being inspired for a living, given that I work just helping Yale teams succeed, right? So my job is to spend a lot of my time sort of working with some of the most passionate and talented students in the world, and spend part of my time working with some of the most successful and accomplished advisors that can help that student talent succeed in building new things. So I think I win. The job is new for me. So I've been at YI now for 3.5 months. I was Yale College 06. I was also SOM 14. But it's the job of the Yale Entrepreneurial Institute, which some of you I know are familiar with, but some might not be. And the Institute, or YI, as we friends call it, is Yale's umbrella organization for entrepreneurship. And its mission is really to just foster Yale entrepreneurs throughout the whole university, so undergraduates and graduate students across all of the schools. Right? It's dedicated to really help students test their ideas, develop them with expert guidance, and then launch new products and services that might have a serious impact in the world. To do that, the YI, which is now celebrating its 10th anniversary, has a number of entrepreneurs in residence. It has a mentor network. It has space at 254 Elm Street, which is very cool, and you can visit, and students get to work there. It has a bunch of helper student teams that support the new ventures through being venture creation advisors or consultants. And it also has corporate partners that provide a lot of in-kind help for all of these students. Right? And all of these resources are deployed primarily in 3 principal programs that Yale is doing through the YI. So the first is called the Venture Creation Program. And what it does is it gives early stage teams $1,000 in mentors to really try to just test their ideas, build prototypes, and figure out their market. Then we also have the Summer Fellowship, which is this competitive intensive boot camp where you get $15,000 in grant funding, a team of mentors, and 10 weeks at Yale with a number of other resources and connections to the community to try to really get your venture to the next level. And then we have the YI Innovation Fund, which gives $100,000 convertible notes in pre-seed funding to promising Yale startups. Okay? Now, the interest in entrepreneurship at Yale is growing tremendously. So in the 3 months that I've been on the job, sort of in the last batch of the applications that we had, 81 teams from across the university applied for our programs. And that doesn't even include all of the activity and interest in teams that are coming from all of the sister organizations that YI has across the campus. So if you didn't graduate in the last 3 years, I can name a few new things for you, like the program in entrepreneurship at the Yale School of Management, the Center for Biomedical and Interventional Technology, the Center for Business and the Environment, Innovate Health at Yale, and the Center for Engineering, Innovation, and Design, which is this really cool makerspace that's available to everybody. Right. About a quarter of all incoming undergraduate freshmen now to Yale express an interest in business and entrepreneurship, which is pretty amazing if you think about the fact that they come to Yale generally for the liberal arts education, and the penchant is not necessarily business. But that means that now that all these students are coming through, the ecosystem for entrepreneurship that we need to build needs to be, stronger than ever and as diverse as ever, right? Which brings me back to the theme of today. And the amazing thing about seeing all of the diverse voices that came through now is that even though they were all very different, one thing that I thought was really amazing in the way they were explaining their challenges, how they faced them, how they overcame them, and the impact that they're having now is that at the end of the day, we are all connected and committed, even when we do different things and are focusing on different industries. We are connected and committed to giving equal opportunity to talent, right? No matter where it comes from or however it looks. And that is something that now we can drive as a culture change. And for that, I want to, again, thank all of the organizers of the conference and Yale Tech for really exemplifying, right, the kind of leadership that changes the conversation around everything that we're trying to accomplish. So I don't know where you guys went, but if you are still around, please let's thank them once again. If you could stand up and just be recognized for bringing us all together here, that would be really tremendous. They're not here, so my thanks. Oh, there's Victor. Well, Victor, for your tireless efforts as the national chair of Yale Tech, all of the regional chapters, national chapters, this is really important. This is really amazing because our alumni are really how we can grow this network and bring the kind of expert advice that helps the teams, right? I can't wait to attend future events. And I hope you feel the same, in which case everyone should go to yaletech.org and sign up for their newsletter so that you don't miss any of those activities. And when I think of other ways that we can then continue to drive this conversation in action, right? Like, and really do our part in changing, you know, what the leadership in technology looks like or what the faces of entrepreneurship really look like. You know, I think that it's really important for all of us to really rally in action and continue to help others. And when it comes to the Yale Entrepreneurial Institute and all the venture teams that are coming out of Yale, there are a few ways you can get involved. All right, so the first is mentorship, which is what I do, or what I'm trying to cultivate. And if you have, 8 to 10 years of operational experience as a successful entrepreneur or as an executive, it would be really terrific for you to consider applying for the Yale Innovation Mentor Network. You know, expert advice is one of the most fundamental and valuable resources that we can offer some of those teams. You know, Michael's story when he talks about the fact that they were all a bunch of 21, 22, and 23-year-olds in a room is pretty typical for a lot of the passionate and talented folks that we have, and your experience can go a long way. So if you're interested or if you know someone that could be a great addition to the network, please do come talk to me, right? Corporate partnerships also provide incredible and significant pro bono resources to a number of those teams that get now access to expert services and advice in a way that they couldn't otherwise afford given how early they are in their development. So we really appreciate all those relationships and connections. Funding, right? We've all talked about pitching and venture capital and so forth. So if you're an investor or if you have investment connections, being able to point the teams out to sources of funding and development resources is really, really valuable. Funding for Yale really helps us also sort of expand the programs and build new ways to encourage and support entrepreneurship around the campus. So we thank you for your generosity. And lastly, one other thing, the YI is partnering with the Office of Career Strategy to do this program called the YI Summer Innovation Internship. And the idea there is to really get startups and entrepreneurially minded firms to get a pathway to hire motivated and talented Yale students that are interested in, like Michael was saying, less traditional career paths that go beyond sort of consulting and finance, and now a lot of people that are thinking a lot more about technology, business development, marketing, venture capital, and so forth. So if you're an employer interested in that, let's also talk about that. So I wanted to help, I wanted to thank, once again, also the corporate sponsors for this event, and Morrison Forrester for their hospitality and opening their doors to us today, McCartney and Associates, Instacart, Thunder. Thank you so much all for your crucial support. And now I know that I stand between you and drinks, so let me do so no longer. And let me just say that let's take all of the inspiration from these conversations today to really work together to change the face of tech and continue this conversations upstairs. So if you want to join us for the happy hour, you can just go down the hall and up the stairs, and we'll be able to celebrate entrepreneurship around Yale and in all that we do until later tonight. So thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of the evening.